Hello and welcome. It's good to have you back. I've been doing some collaging the last few days, and it's really kind of addicting. If any of you have done collage pages or master boards, you know how addicting it can be. You just don't find a good stopping point. You just want to keep going and going. But I made several pages in my book here. I did one video that you might look at that, and I found this paperback cookbook that I'm not using anymore, and the pages were the same size as a printer sheet, so I thought that's really a convenient size to use and big enough to get something out of. So that's what I've been collaging on, and this is one that I've just finished the collage on. And what I've been doing with this, and it's really working out well, is making some sets out of it for my junk journal and to go in my Etsy shop. And out of this one page, I'm able to get 2 large cards and a booklet, which are 2 things that I really like to put in my journals because they're large and they make a nice statement. Let me show you. I take 6 inches off one end or the other of the collage sheet, whichever I'm going to do, and then I cut that in half. Let's see here. For me, in half here is a little over 4 inches. And that gives me 2 nice-sized cards that I can finish the back or do whatever I want to do. Now, these have been glued just with glue stick. I will be sewing them, and I will show you some samples of that in just a minute. Now, this one, I'll leave this size, and I will be sewing it also, and I will then fold it and I will make a booklet out of it. So let me show you a couple that I've got done and give you some idea of what you can do with these sheets. Here's one that I have finished. This was the top, and these were the 2 side bottoms. That's what the page looked like originally. And so you can see how this works out so well this way. And these I have sewn. Now you can probably see that easier from the back side. I use a wave stitch on my machine, and then I do the zigzag on the outside. That pretty much secures everything on there. You might have an edge pop up, but that's okay. That just adds texture. The fact is that the piece isn't coming off of the card itself because it's securely sewn on there now. Okay, and again, this one I will be folding, and I will be making a booklet out of it. And I have done inking around the edges. That also blends in the stitching really nicely. Each section has a look of its own because of the collaging effect. Okay, and here's a set that is ready to go. This one also was collaged originally. Let's see, it went this way. The original collage looked like that, and then I cut it into the 2 cards, inked and sewed those. I inked, and then what I did was I took a piece of fabric to strengthen my fold here, so that when I put the little signature in, it'll be really sturdy. So I just sewed a little piece of fabric down both sides. You can see the sewing that I did there. okay? And then I will be putting a signature in. I can do a hidden signature, or I can do a pamphlet stitch signature, however you want to do it. But this makes the cutest little set for your junk journals. Now, to finish these off, I will be gluing to the back a piece of paper that is conducive to journaling on, and decorate it a little bit, and so the card will become even sturdier, and it will have a writing area on the back, and I'll be doing that to both of these. Okay, so you might want to pull out a book that you've got around the house that you're not using anymore. A nice paperback is good because of the weight of the paper. If you've got a larger one, it's great, but a standard size paperback will do. You can get smaller cards and smaller booklets out of those. It doesn't really matter size-wise, as long as you're happy with it. And start collaging. When I collage, what did I do with that? Oh goodness. Well, I had it here a minute ago. What did I do with that? Well, it disappeared. When you're collaging, oh, I know what I did. Dumb me. I cut it, so naturally I don't have it anymore. The key is to not overthink it. Just use your parts and pieces. You can fussy cut a few pieces to give you some additional texture and to break up some of your straight lines, if that's what you want to do. Don't be afraid of color and pattern. Solids are okay. I don't like a lot of solids, but some solids really help. And so you just want to place them to where they look good or they become pleasing to your eye. People often ask me, well, when do you know when to stop or when you have enough? I don't know how to answer that question, because it's something that I think each of us just intuitively knows that, hey, I like this just like it is. I don't really see that I need to put anything else on it. I feel that it's finished, and so it's complete in my eyes, and that's what's important. Now, this one, as I said, is completely different. And so when was it complete? Well, it was complete when it looked finished to me. I'll add pieces along until I get it to that point when I think, okay, that whole thing is cohesive to me. I like it to blend in a way. I like the colors to complement each other. I most of the time don't have a stark focal point, but you can do that and still have a very beautiful collage. I will pull out a grouping of papers. I don't hand pick each paper. I just pull out a handful out of my scrap box, and whatever is in that pile is what I use. Occasionally I will go look for something particular, but not too often. One magazine page that I used was up here, and then I cut a bottom part out of here, and then I also cut some word out of a magazine page. So you can see that you can do a lot of things. So it's digital junk journal kit pages, it's magazine pages, it's different printed pages of my own artwork, things like that, and I just throw it all there together. So what does the pile that I'm working out of look like? It looks like this. This is my box of papers that I just throw in here, and it just accumulates over time, and a lot of times I'll just reach down into the bottom and pull out a handful and see what I come up with. If I don't have enough variety when I do that, then I'll just go get some more. And let's see, I have quite a few magazine pages down in here. I love to use magazine pages too. And so you can see that I have just a little bit of everything and anything in here. Just don't be afraid to save everything when it comes to a paper piece, because there's going to be a place for it. I just love these little perforated edges on these. They add a lot to just about anything. So just start creating, if you don't already have, a paper scrap box and work out of that for your collage. Now you could see that I can make a ton of collages out of what I already have, and so pretty soon you'll collect all that you really need. If you don't have a bunch of scraps already, well, start taking some of your papers and just tearing them up. Excuse me. Get some of your old magazines, go through them and look for pages that have a lot of color, beautiful scenes, collage elements that are there, just focal points, anything, and start tearing those out and start building your own box, okay? And it's not hard, and before long, you know, you'll have everything you need to put in there. And then you'll have sets that you can use inside your journals. These look really, really cool. If these were finished and I wanted to put them in my journals, these make such pretty additions. They can just be tucked in a page, or they can go in a belly band or a side pocket. Often let's see if my front page will often hold a big booklet like that, okay? Even this card will tuck into that, like that. So you can see that these are nice statements for your junk journals, okay? All right, I hope you'll start collaging today, and tag me. I'd love to see what you're doing, and come over and join me and Marsha in our group on Facebook. It's Junk Journal Junction. There's a link in the description. And also, you might want to check out our YouTube channels. Marsha's link is in the description. And subscribe, and it really will help us build our channels and give us incentive and encouragement to continue to make items that you might find useful in your junk journal journey. Okay, till next time, keep creating.